Afternoon, guys. How we all doing? Hope everyone's well. This is just a wee kind of impromptu video because I was in a climbing store for some supplies, and basically I just bumped into a boy, overheard a conversation, and he was talking about his location, where he was heading to, and he was talking about what he needed. And if you've been doing a bit and you've got some experience, you will very, very quickly pick up when someone's a novice. Now, we all start as novices. Everybody begins their journey in anything as a novice. You don't become a boxer and become a professional the next day. You don't climb Tinto Hill and become an alpine expert, an alpinist, overnight. It doesn't work like that. It takes years and years of experience. And I'm building my experience, as experienced as I am. When you have a big layoff from something and you get back to it, your experience wanes because you forget routine. And it's routine that you need to achieve. It's routine that keeps your momentum going and keeps you safe and keeps you on the right track. So I just heard a conversation there, and I wasn't taken aback because I'm very rarely surprised by anyone. So what happened was, the boy was saying about he's from Glasgow, he's going to meet his mates on, of all places, Ben Nevis. The Ben's very attractive. It's got a big name, big reputation, and for very good reason. It'll be raining today in Glasgow, and it'll be, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 degrees, something like that. And in Ben Nevis, it'll be a minimum of 10 degrees less. If there's a wind, you can add 5 or 6 to that. So let's say that the Ben's currently on the summit, it'll be -2 or 3. Let's say that. It will be icy cold, and if there's snow left, which there is a sprinkling up there. There's a lot of ice on the Ben just now. The conditions will be tetchy underfoot. So he was aware of that because he's googled it, and he was asking for crampons. Now, here's the thing. First time in Ben Nevis, having never used crampons, possibly don't even know how to mount them correctly. Never mind actually walking crampons. That's a recipe for disaster, because they take a lot of getting used to. They take acute adjustment, and I'm not a great fan of them, but they're a necessary evil. They're a necessity when the conditions dictate underfoot. You won't walk in a certain degree. You won't, if you've got a 400 metre climb to the summit and it's like that, and the winds hit it and it's ice, you're not going to get up there without injuring yourself just with a couple of, walking poles. Or you need chains or you need crampons, and that goes without saying. So he'd been asking for the crampons, and he was asking about different types. You get walking crampons and you get climbing crampons, and he wasn't aware. Now, we know, but last week in Ben Nevis, for anyone that's not sure, there was, literally 30 people rescued off the Ben. One boy lost his life. You get slips and falls in the gullies and in the corries. You get the ice climbers. They're in really, really exposed, highly technical routes, and they're hugely experienced. They're not in there as novices. 5 Finger Gully. You got all of these places on the Ben, and the North Face. It's globally recognised as one of the top ice climbing venues in the world, for good reason. People come all over the world, hugely successful people, hugely experienced people, because of its technicality and its attraction. It's mad that people underestimate it. I'm in Glencoe, and Glencoe is, for me, it's got everything. It offers a bit of everything for every level. but even at the low level, even walking some of the glen routes and doing some of the loop walks, don't underestimate it. If you're 8 or 9 miles out, you're 8 or 9 miles back. That's a 16-mile day. That's a long day with kit. And if the weather turns on you and you're wearing a non-waterproof outer garment with some, you know, a tracksuit and a pair of boots, you're going to get exposed. You're going to get caught out. So some of the basics that I don't leave home without is things like that. I wear a woolly hat, one of these, a beanie, but they're no good in the rain and they don't hold heat in the rain. Even the good ones. This is actually a good quality beanie. It's got a lot of wool content. That's a waterproof low alpine hat. These are legendary. They're 30 quid. Taunton Leisure sell them. You get them in medium, large, extra large. You get them in all different sizes, so they're moulded to your head. They're adjustable at the back. You can put a head torch in them. You can clip, you know, you've got the little button front, and you can fold the ears up. So I actually have a couple of them. I've got an extra large, I've got a large, and the large, you know, I've got different sizes. I've got a medium as well, believe it or not, and they're for people that's out with me, because they're very, very warm and they're not going to get blown off your head. That is an amazing bit of kit. It's one of the best bits of kit you can have, is a low alpine. Bergos make a version, and probably Arc'teryx and Mountain, but low alpine's the classic. We use them in the Royal Marines. They're used in the Arctic, and you know, that's the hat. I've got a few of them. They're 30 quid each, but if anybody comes out with me and I give them one, believe me, you keep your head warm, the rest of your body follows. Important bit of kit. These are like little neck scarves. They're lightweight. They're kind of like a merino content. You get mountain equipment make them. Braemar Mountain Sports was selling them off at a fiver. They're normally like 20 odd quid. I've got a few of these. I've always got them because keep warm, keep your neck warm. I have a little kind of underlayer, Haglofs. It's warm and it's ultra light. I wear merino, which is this, wicks the sweat away from you, but I also have a cheap Decathlon kind of woolen layer, which is very warm, and I put it in a dry bag, which is like that, right? Amazon sell these little button clip dry bags. They weigh nothing, they're literally grams. Keep your kit dry in your bag, right? I've got different colours and I know what goes in them. So I'm not going to pull all the bags out of my kit, because I know what's in the pink bag, I know what's in the blue bag, I know what's in the yellow bag, because of repetition, because of routine. I know what's in there. Face towel, you know, dry kit, undergarments, spare socks, I know what bags they're in. They're all come in different sizes. So put your stuff always in the same bag. That's a whistle, guys. I think it was 4 or 5 quid or 3 or 4 quid. It's got a thermometer in the back, but you'll know when it's cold anyway, and it's got a little compass. You know, a little compass that does work. It will tell you, you know, I was heading east, I've dropped my main compass, I've got that, right? Believe me, you will not shout in somebody in a glen from 500-600 metres up a mountainside in a breeze, but there's a good chance they'll hear that, but you won't shout someone. Get a whistle, have it on a lanyard that you can grab it, keep it close. That's a little guy rope. I carry lots of little bits of stuff. There's always a couple of that, 3 or 4 metres each. Use it for attaching something to me if I need to go over a river or anything. Just handy bit of kit. You might find something that you might want to tie around yourself, like an old tarpaulin or an old tent. You might want to put it around yourself if you're really, really caught out. Great bit of kit. Dextro Energy, they're about 40 or 50 pence. I take one every, you know, 30-40 minutes. And I just keep myself up there. My gel sashes, SIS or Toro, you'll hear me talking about them. Tear it off, straight down your throat, you know, 1 an hour. It's isotonic gel, some of them have a caffeine content, and if they're good enough for high level athletes, they're good enough for me up a mountain when you're exerting a lot of energy. A pocket knife, this is a locker, so you wouldn't have it in your, it's not an EDC, it's not a legal carry, it's over the size, it's 3 inches, so it's slightly over the size. But I'm not in a pub, I'm in the middle of the mountains, it is not an issue to have a knife on you. A functional knife is perfectly legal, guys, when you are in the right environment, not when you're stood in a nightclub and it's in your back pocket, okay? So a good functional knife, but for a good downward cutting force, if I need to cut a strap in a backpack, if I slip through a crevasse or something and I'm jammed, I just cut myself out and leave my pack. Who cares? Get out and, you know, there you go. Have it somewhere that you can grab it. Have it somewhere that it's ready to go. In a little bum bag, you know, keep it somewhere that you know you can get to it. I actually carry two. I carry two. I've got one in my pack and I've got one in my body. A spare battery with the correct cable. Make sure it's fully charged. If you're driving somewhere, charge it in the way there. Don't wait till you get there and then you've got 2% or 5%. Make sure it's 100% charged. I'll get 2 charges out of that. Okay, top pocket of my backpack, wrapped up, waterproof. A lighter, a full lighter, goes without saying, right? You get 10 for £1.50 and got any cash and carry. Head torch, little ultralight, tiny little thing. It'll get me down off a mountain. It's got a little singular battery in it. That'll get me off anywhere. Couple of hours light, emergency. Lights up everything in front of you, it'll get me home. Something for eating. You know, these are the little jet boil ones. They just open up like that. And you know, a knife, a spoon or a fork. I've always got kind of a racing spoon in my pocket, ready to just wolf something down. Even if I eat a ration pack but I eat it cold, it's still fuel going in. You've still fueled yourself up, especially if you're in a hurry to get home and get down off a hill. Darkness, fog, whatever, you know. Carry the right kit, guys. Carry a couple of spare batteries for your head torches. You know, 2 little batteries. Just wrap them up and make sure they're handy in your bum bag or in your chest pocket. Just make sure you've got the right kit. It's so important. It's really, really, really important. I carry a couple of little carabiners. I've just got them dangling. I've got one there and I've got one usually on my belt order, just in case. You never know. A good Gore-Tex jacket is worth its weight in gold. If you're dry, you have always got a fighting chance. If you're wet, you've got problems. It is wet, damp conditions that kill people with exposure. You can be freezing cold, but when you're bone dry, you will find a way around about it. It's the dampness that kills you. I swear by that. And I don't think many people would disagree with me. It's the cold and the damp that eats into you and subdues you, makes you lethargic. It obliterates your morale and it drags you down. So, you know, I've got a couple of different pieces of Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex has to be functional. You know, it's got to have a hood, a fully adjustable hood that you can mould round your head, tighten it up at the back and bring the visor down and, you know, keep the water away from going down inside you. This is a mountain equipment jacket. You get what you pay for. 400 quid plus. May sound extreme, but it's a pro guide. It's a high level bit of kit. You'll get a great Gore-Tex jacket for 150 to 200 quid, but it must be Gore-Tex. You get Pertex, you get Sympatex, you get all the other brands. Rab have their own one, even though they do Gore-Tex, and it's waterproof. But I wouldn't say I'd be going out on a major day on a major mountain like Ben Nevis without proper Gore-Tex. I have lightweight waterproof trousers. They're from Decathlon. They're my everyday ones. They were cheap as chips, 30 or 40 quid, and I swear by them, they're brilliant. And I've got a merino underlayer under them, and I do have a warmers kit in my pack should the inevitable happen. But my top layer is always Gore-Tex, i.e. my jacket. It's always a quality item, and you get what you pay for with mountain equipment and Arc'teryx and, you know, the Montane, the more known brands. You do get what you pay for. It's a different quality of Gore-Tex, and it's functional. The cuffs are functional, the zips are functional, they're built correctly around about your frame. I've got a very broad chest and broad shoulders, so, you know, I need something that contains me. And also, I tend to, it's not a fashion contest, so I've went to extra large so that I can put a down jacket underneath it comfortably without crushing the down, because when you compress the down, it kind of stops working. The down has to be kind of loosely packed in order to work correctly. So think about all of these things, and that's just basic kit. Food, a little gas stove like a jet boil, or, you know, Amazon do their own kind now, which is brilliant. 40-50 quid will get you a little gas canister stove. The gas is inside the stove. You get up, if you've been caught out, throw some snow in it, melt the snow, stick a sachet of gel in it, a couple of scoops of sugar, whatever you've got on you, throw it in, bloody melt a bar of chocolate in it if you need to, and whip it up and get it down your neck. You're looking for a hit from carbohydrate and you're looking for heat. You're not looking for a 3-course dinner, you know, Michelin star. Just get it all in there, pot mess it and neck it. And the sooner it's in you hot, the better. You don't faff around with cooking stuff and stirring stuff and all the rest of it. You just get it into you. It's all about speed and efficiency. That's what gets you off a mountain. So I had a chat with the boy, and I wished him well, and I said, look, don't underestimate the Ben. Your mates are coming from the south of England. They're not acclimatised. You've never worn crampons. You are putting crampons in your feet and you're expecting to be up there. And, you know, I really hope you enjoy yourselves and get, you know, and it's safe. But it's a funky time of year. January, February, March. It goes from wet to wind to from rain to snow. It jumps about so much, and there's any amount of different outcomes in a day like that. The fact that he was in a shop buying crampons to go to Ben Nevis today for a morning climb really worried me, because it reeks of inexperience, and it is the wrong mountain to learn this game. It's madness. It's absolutely madness. There's people getting rescued just now every other day. Lochaber Mountain Rescue, Glencoe, they are out constantly, day and night. Choppers, they're out on foot, and there's been a lot of tragedies as well. There's been a lot of deaths recently, like over a dozen in the past few weeks. A lot of them will be avoidable. A lot of them will be human error. I certainly think events in Ben Nevis the other day were absolutely shocking, and it's a wake-up call. You've got a lot of fantastic guides in Scotland just now. If there are poorer guides among them that are maybe only in it for the money or taking people out when they really shouldn't be, I would put it in the good guides to out these guys. When it's civilians' lives, members of the public's lives you're playing with, there's no margin for error. And no amount of money on a daily basis is worth that. You couldn't pay me enough to take novices up a mountain and put them in danger. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's nothing funny about it. And for what? For money? No thanks. So, not cool. I get asked an awful lot to take people up. I will always hedge on the side of caution. We would be moving at the pace of the slowest member of the team, or the weakest, least skilled member. That's not to insult them. That's because they've never done it before. They're not going to be experienced. They're not going to have high altitude fitness. You know, doing 1,000 metres straight up like that is very, very different to running 3 or 4 miles in the flats. It's entirely different. You'll use muscle groups that you've never used before. So this is when things happen. This group of boys going up there, I hope there's some experience among them. But when a guy's in a store asking for ice axes and crampons but doesn't know what kind of crampons he wants, alarm bells ring. The guys in the store have got a job to do, sell products, but they've also got the basic fundamental, you know, values where they'll be like, mate, you know, what do you need these for? Where is it you're going? Oh, I'm going up Nevis, I'm going up the CMD, up the back way, or, you know, alarm bells. Because I says to the boys, stick to the donkey track, which is the tourist route. It's not particularly, you know, overwhelming with views and stuff. However, there is a track beneath your feet. So navigation is not massively important until you get near the summit on the Ben, and then there is snow and the path can get lost, and a fresh sprinkling will cover up footprints very quickly. And if you're following them and reliant on them, they're going to be gone. So you could walk out on them and get to the CIC hut and get to the summit and not know your way back. A lot to think about. And I've got mates that do it, and I follow them. I watch their videos because I'm always looking for little nuggets of information. Out in Boots, Big Stevie, I was talking to him. He's back